Hi, it's Emma from Beacon School Support. Lots of schools that we work with are reporting more incidences of PDA than ever before. That's pathological demand avoidance. If this is true for you, then keep watching because in this short video, I've got 3 pieces of information that are important to know. Number 1 is that although the behaviour of kids with PDA can look very controlling and chosen, did you know that their behaviour is actually driven by anxiety? When adults place demands on them, this leads them to have a spike of anxiety, which is overwhelming. And to cope with that anxiety, you'll see them using strategies like task avoidance, refusal, opting out, and more. Which brings me on to number 2. That's the difference between everyday task avoidance and pathological demand avoidance. Task avoidance is something that we all suffer from time to time. It's when we just don't want to or we don't feel like doing something. So we delay the task or we don't engage with it or we make excuses as to why we can't do it. All children and adults, even me, present task avoidance from time to time. You know, when you start tidying up or phone scrolling, when you know that you should be working on something more important right now. We all try and dodge the hard stuff. But pathological demand avoidance is something different. It's when you experience anxiety from demands to an unhealthy degree. The word pathological here means related to disease and harm. And in this scenario, the demands are resulting in emotional harm and distress to the child, which means that they reach for coping strategies. Now, number 3 is linked to that information, and it's an important thing to bear in mind when you, as the adult, are supporting a pupil with PDA who you can see is becoming more resistant to follow classroom routines. But before I get to that, I want to let our Strategy Hub and Behaviour 360 members know that we've got an in-depth training on this. It's called How to Support Pupils with PDA, and it gives you a real deep dive into the emotional factors behind PDA. It talks about how it's a form of autism that usually presents atypically, so it gets missed. And strategy and strategy and strategy for supporting pupils in class. So if you're teaching a student with PDA or you're a school leader looking to support a colleague, there's loads of useful information and strategies in that video that you can use right away. Anyway, back to the key piece of information, number 3, about responding to our PDA pupils when they become more resistant, and for some it's counterintuitive. Remember, because your pupil's behaviour is emotionally driven from anxiety rather than a chosen behaviour, when you think about it, adding more pressure to follow instructions is actually going to make things worse because that will increase the pupil's anxiety and lead to even more refusals, maybe even a full-blown meltdown, and nobody wants that. So, here's the key. When you spot your pupil becoming more resistant, the solution isn't to add pressure to conform. It's actually to reduce the pressure on them. Less pressure means their anxiety can subside. The pupil can relax and feel more emotionally calm, and then they're more likely to become flexible again and be able to join in. So key piece of information number 3 is about removing pressure to reduce anxiety and increasing success in the classroom as the pupil calms down. Hope you found that useful. My name's Emma Shackleton from Beacon School Support, and thank you for watching.